Hello, young mortals. Welcome to the chasm of peril. I am Thoth, embodiment of knowledge. It is good that you are well read, for you will need to use your full mastery of language to overcome this obstacle. You will need to spell words. Pick up the letter tiles from the ground and place them upon the empty spots on the bridge over the chasm. I will tell you each word you must spell to complete the bridge. You have progressed well so far, but you must again prove yourselves worthy of entry into the deeper realms of the pyramid. When I give you a word, use the letter tiles on the ground to fill in the empty spots on the bridge. Spell the word correctly to extend the bridge. To cross the chasm, you must build a bridge. Spell the words I give you by using the letter tiles to fill in the empty spots on the bridge. I see that you have made progress deep into the pyramid, but the way ahead of you is long and arduous still. You are on the verge of finding that which you seek. Solve this ancient challenge one final time. Though you are young, you have truly absorbed the knowledge of the ages. Well done. Show your approval, my baboons. Truly, you are wise and worthy. You must be wise indeed to solve these difficult challenges. Check your spelling. Try again. Take another look. Now spell this word. To further demonstrate your knowledge, try this word. For your next challenge, spell this word. The bridge is not yet complete. Now you must spell this word. To spell the word, move the letter tiles below to the empty spaces on the bridge. To spell the word, you need to pick up the letters from the ground and move them to the empty spots on the bridge. Spell this word. Accept. The winner of the award went on stage to accept the prize. Afternoon. In Cairo, most businesses are closed for a few hours in the afternoon because of the heat. Animals. Mummies of sacred animals were often buried with the pharaohs. Antonym. An antonym for ancient is modern. Anxious. The trapped animal felt restless and anxious in its cage. Artificial. Things created by man are artificial. Things made by nature are natural. Astronaut. The first American astronaut to be sent into space was Alan Shepard. Caring. The pharaoh's servants were responsible for caring for his needs. Caught. The entomologist caught a magnificent butterfly in his net. Cause. Scientists carefully study the cause and effect of natural phenomena. Caution. I must caution you to proceed with great care, for the way ahead is full of danger. Ceiling. An ancient astronomer described the stars and galaxies as the domed ceiling over the earth. Circular. Botanists calculate the age of a tree by counting the circular rings in a cross-section of its trunk. Clever. The clever stonemasons in ancient Egypt created ingenious methods to move large stones. Coil. Some snakes tightly coil themselves around their prey in order to crush it. Column. Each massive stone column supported walls and ceilings in ancient Egyptian temples. Compass. Instead of a magnetic compass, ancient Egyptians used the stars to help them find true north. Convenience. A modern convenience, like running water, is often not available when digging at an ancient archaeological site. Cough. You should always cover your mouth when you cough, so that you don't spread germs. Daring. The daring tomb robbers took great risks when breaking into the tombs. Dawn. At dawn, the sun rises from the eastern horizon. Deceitful. A deceitful merchant may try to cheat you. Decimal. The decimal system represents fractions based on the number 10. Dehydrated. During mummification, a special salt called natron dehydrated the body, by removing its water. Delicious. Spices were used in foods for their delicious flavors, as well as for their preservative qualities. Device. Early Egyptian architects used a device called the cubit rod to measure land area. Disloyal. The pharaoh punished disloyal individuals in his court who spoke against him. Earned. Champollion earned worldwide fame by decoding the hieroglyphs on the Rosetta Stone. Except. Rodents can be found on every continent except Antarctica. Exclaimed. The scientist exclaimed, "Eureka, I have found it." Fascinating. Archaeology is a fascinating field of study. Flurry. The noise of the engine caused a flurry of excitement as the nearby animals fled for shelter. 40. Nearly 40 dynasties have ruled over the ancient land of Egypt. Germ. Egyptians used ale to kill a deadly germ found in drinking water. Habitat. The camel has successfully adapted to the harsh climate of its natural habitat. Hazardous. The federal government regulates the disposal of hazardous chemicals. Height. The tallest pyramid of ancient Egypt reaches a height of 480 feet. Humongous. Ancient Egyptians quarried humongous blocks of limestone with the use of simple tools. Hurdle. The Olympic runner jumped over the last hurdle before heading for the finish line. Ladder. Use a ladder if you need to reach anything on the top shelf. Launch. The Soviet Union was the first country to ever launch a spacecraft into orbit. Limit. There is no limit to how much you can learn. Limp. The lion's attack left the hunter with a limp in his right leg. Lunar. A lunar eclipse occurs when the Earth casts a shadow on the surface of the moon. Medieval. During medieval times, Crusaders invaded many ancient lands and looted treasured artifacts. Misspelled. Text with misspelled words is the work of a careless scribe. Moist. His hands were moist and clammy from nervousness when he went to shake hands with a famous scientist. Monotonous. The landscape of the Sahara may seem monotonous because there is sand as far as the eye can see. Motor. The motor of the first locomotive was powered by steam. Multiply. Egyptian merchants still use the abacus to add and multiply numbers quickly. Narrow. Large farms were irrigated by a system of narrow channels that diverted the water from the Nile. Navigate. Ancient Egyptians used sailboats to navigate downwind along the Nile River. Neither. Hieroglyphs are neither pictures nor letters, but a combination of both. Obvious. The meaning of the hieroglyphs wasn't obvious at first, but linguists finally deciphered this ancient script in 1799. Occurred. The chemical reaction occurred 3 hours after the experiment began. Order. Follow the directions in exactly the right order, or the experiment won't work properly. Organism. An amoeba is a microscopic living organism. Paper. Ancient Egyptians wrote on an early form of paper made from the stem of the papyrus plant. Paralyzed. The man was paralyzed by fear and couldn't move when he noticed a scorpion crawling up his arm. Peace. Egypt enjoyed a long period of peace and little conflict under the rule of Ramses the Great. Peculiar. Many animals have peculiar eating habits that seem strange to us. Physical. By mummifying their dead, ancient Egyptians prevented the physical deterioration of the body. Peace. This is only a piece of the whole tablet. The rest is still missing. Pirate. The desert bandit is like the pirate on the high sea. Both attack helpless travelers. Pounce. The lion was hiding in the bushes, ready to pounce on its unsuspecting victim. Powder. Ancient Egyptian men and women outlined their eyes with a powder made by grinding down a colored mineral. Power. The goddess Isis had the power to bring Osiris back to life. Pull. Workers used sledges to pull stone blocks up the pyramids. Quiver. In extreme desert heat, images in the distance may appear to quiver as a mirage. Receiver. A radio receiver converts sound signals into sounds we can hear. Remember. Good scientists always write down their observations so they can remember them. Report. The world was astounded by the report of the discovery of King Tut's tomb. Rhythm. Rattles were used to help keep the steady rhythm of ceremonial chants. Robbed. Throughout the centuries, people have robbed the ancient pyramids of the treasures hidden inside. Rough. Egyptians smoothed and polished the rough surface of bronze to make mirrors. Royalty. In ancient Egypt, only royalty could wear gold jewelry. Ruin. Nothing could ruin the magnificence of the ancient pyramids. Scared. The animal's sudden movement scared the young boy. Scarred. The pyramid builder's scarred leg showed where he had been wounded years before. Skeptical. Scientists are skeptical of results that can't be repeated when they do the experiment again. Spoil. The body of a dead person was mummified by the Egyptians so that it would not spoil. Stampede. During a stampede, weak or small animals may be trampled by the herd. Steal. Despite the security devices used in pyramids, grave robbers were able to steal most of the hidden treasures. Steep. Special ramps were built to move stone blocks up the steep slopes of the pyramids. Striped. The striped zebra's natural camouflage helps confuse its enemies in a stampede. Submerge. A hippopotamus can submerge its head underwater for extended periods of time. Temperature. The temperature in the African Sahara can exceed 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Thermometer. In the sweltering desert heat, the thermometer can reach up to 130 degrees Fahrenheit. Thorough. Scientists examine all data to research a topic in a thorough way. Though Australians are known for inventing the boomerang, ancient Egyptians hunted with a very similar throwing stick. Tough. A turtle has a tough outer shell to protect it from predators. Tranquilizer. Zoologists may use a tranquilizer to calm a frightened animal or put it to sleep. Travel. Caravans travel across the desert today, much as they did thousands of years ago. Trim. Romans used shears to trim hedges and bushes. Trimming. Special chisels were used for trimming stone blocks to an exact size. Trunks. Archaeologists found trunks filled with treasure in the hidden chambers of King Tut's tomb. Typhoon. A typhoon is a severe tropical storm that occurs in the western Pacific Ocean and the China Sea. Weird. A weird sound came from inside the cave and startled the explorers. Whirl. During a tornado, the wind will spin and whirl violently. Women. Egyptian women wear traditional headgear to protect themselves from the desert heat.